how to turn off those negative thoughts in your head. Hey, excuse me, am I bothering you? I was just wondering if, like, you could hear all those loud negative voices in my head. They're really, really loud. Welcome to the Best Years podcast. This is Dr. Darlene speaking to Generation X and baby boomers who want more. I'll share power, skills, and tools with you to get your mojo back and love your life. So, have you ever been just going about your day and you notice that you're just in a bad mood? You kind of have like this negative attitude. You may be at the grocery store, you may be at the gym, and you just have this negative mindset. And if you really stop and step back, you're on the treadmill, what the heck? Then you notice you kind of have automatic negative thoughts, but where are they coming from? And then if you stop and listen, that's the skill here. Those power skills I talk about. Number one is stop and listen. So stop, write that down. Number one, stop. And you step back, and then you notice they are intrusive thoughts. You hear yourself saying you're not good enough. You can't do that. That'll never happen. Why do you think you can do that? It's very, very common. Most of us walk around with negative voices in our head. We're just not aware of it. And that's the skill, is stopping, stepping back, and becoming aware. Otherwise, it just shows up as a bad mood. When we learn to control this type of experience and notice them, your self-worth will increase, I promise you, and you'll stop being negative. But how do we do it? So like I said, number one is you stop and you listen and notice. Now, NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, is one of the power skills and tools that I have, and you can Google that later. What is NLP? It's a way of understanding the unconscious mind and bring it to a conscious mind and understand what's going on. The conscious mind is anything that you're noticing right now. Anything right there, like the little mermaid in her cavern with her flashlight. She's like, look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? La da da dun, da 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 dun, dun. And she's shining her flashlight, and everything that she's shining on is the conscious mind. Everything else is unconscious. So if you're at the grocery store and you find that you have this bad mood, negative attitude, it's because conscious mind has which kind of cereal you're going to get, if yogurt's good for you, because you never know what's good for you anymore in this world, and what kind of sugar you shouldn't eat, and you're thinking about all those things. That's the conscious mind. And the unconscious is doing its thing. You know, the unconscious mind is going at it, taking these voices and making them negative and ringing and echoing in your head, but you don't know it. So as you step back, how do you find them? Now with NLP, there's an exercise, a strategy of finding where the voices occur in your experience. If you've worked with me before, you'll go, okay, yeah, let's do this. If you've never heard this, hang out with me. And each time you hear more of what I teach, you'll understand more about what NLP is and how to recognize what's going on at an unconscious level. So as you step back, I'd like you to close your eyes if you can and notice where that voice is coming and what is it saying. And by where I mean, is it more in the right ear, more in the left ear? Is it more a full body experience? Is it smashing you in the face? I remember when my teenagers would say mean things to me. It's as like they took a knife and went right in my forehead. And then it was like a pressure in my heart. But the sound would be sharp in my ears. Then if I think of someone saying something that I love to hear, it's like a rolling, smooth, symmetrical sound in both ears. Is this making sense to you? So when we have an echo in our mind, we have this experience of how we receive the auditory sound. If you're not completely aware, you're fine for now. Just notice if it's more in your right ear or left. Is it more coming down, coming in, coming out? If you're aware, if not, just go, not quite sure yet. Now, what is it that you hear? Let's say you hear your spouse, your father, saying something like, you're not good enough. So recognize, step 2 is recognize, what are they saying? What's the sound? Now you might say it's my voice. And almost all my clients say, well, it's my voice. And then I say, really? Listen to it again. And 99.9% of every client who says they have these echoing negative thoughts, this is the key. It's not their voice. It's someone else's voice. Aha. So, what do you hear? What's the negative sound? And 3, whose voice is it? So step 1, stop, step back, lay back, sit down. 2, what is the voice saying? 3, whose voice is it? And like I said, it's most likely not your voice, but we morph it into our voice. If a dad says you're not good enough, you'll probably morph it into, I'm not good enough, instead of you're not good enough. Because that's what we do while we're shopping at the grocery store. Our unconscious is just doing its thing, and it switches the words to I. Interesting, eh? Yes, very interesting. So this is what we do now that you've stopped. You notice what it's saying. It. 3, you notice who is saying it and kind of where it's coming from. Now, as you're aware of that, this is a learning curve and a skill. When you're very aware of these things, I'd like you to, let's say that the voices are off to the right side of your ear. I want you to grab those voices gently with your right hand, or wherever they are, grab them with your hands and put the voice in your hand and bring your hand in front of you. So now, the voice is coming from in front of you. You're not good enough. And all of a sudden it changes. And it sounds different now, doesn't it? The sound is different. And it might already be better and we're done. Or you can still kind of hear it. Just moving it in your psycho mind, you'll have a different experience. I promise you. Next step, if it's still bugging you, is to hear it again. You're not good enough. And notice it says you're not good enough instead of I. Now, what do you own about that? What do you want to keep? Do you want to keep, I'm not good enough? Or do you want to keep, I am good enough? Or do you want to keep, well, I'm good enough for the things I'm good at? Ooh, I like that one. So what you do is you have a little conversation with yourself about what you want to keep about the voice. And you switch it to make it yours. And that's the skill and tool, and that's why private sessions and or small groups are great with me. We can really determine this if you're not able to hear yet. If you're not, then attempt it again the next day and the next until this is a skill you have, and it's really powerful and it's wonderful. And I wouldn't be alive without this wonderful exercise ever at all. So it's a beautiful thing. So what do I want to own about you're not good enough? What do I want to keep? I want to keep, I'm going to switch it a little. I'm going to keep, I am good enough for the things I'm good at, and I'm getting better at other things. So you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater and just chuck this voice, because it's your voice that's ringing in your mind. It was your dad's mouth that said it, but the echo you choose to keep. As you choose to keep the echo, you realize your unconscious kept the echo for a reason. And the unconscious mind isn't all that smart on a conscious level, so it kind of just kept it all warped. So now we're going to fix it. I'm going to keep, I am good enough for the things I'm good at. So as you hold the baby in the bathwater, metaphorically, in your hand, you're going to pull with the other hand, and kind of like a screen, you're just going to pull. You're not going to take it all, but pull grab what you want to keep, put it in your mouth and breathe it in. Then speak with your own vocal cords. I am good enough for the things I am good at, and I choose what I want to be good at. Say it again. I am good enough for what I choose to do. And it starts to morph. I am good enough for what I want to be good at. And it starts to morph. Say it again. I am good enough. Say it again. Clear your throat. Say it again. I am good enough. And say it again. I am good. And again, I am good. Ooh, until you have a full body yes. It's your voice now. There's no more echo. It's who you are. Isn't it interesting that as you turn off negative voices, as you overcome intrusive thoughts, notice how your moods will elevate and you can make your own choices and go forward in life and live as you choose. Yeah? How was that for you? I'd love comments. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, make comments, and let me know how that was for you. NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, the skills and tools there will help you in so many ways. Hey, have a great rest of the day. Thanks for joining. Talk soon. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe to my channel so we can hang out. Also, go to www.whatstopsyou.com for notes to this podcast and learn more power skills to indeed live the best years of your life.